all we do. We want to make it easier for you. We offer ancillary services, which is in addition to that home inspection. Just to give you a couple, pool install, pre-sale. We also do pest. We do $85 for pest if you do a whole house inspection. Well and septic. And there's others that we do. Just call us. Whatever your client needs, if they've got it, we do it. Someone just asks us to do something.
Well, if they do like a mobile home on Jackson Blocks, they need a structural engineer to verify the tie downs. I have a guy that will come out and do it with me.
Yeah.
We also will schedule that as well.
Right.
And the client only has to pay us. They don't have to pay a bunch of different people.
It's real easy. Okay, and that's it. This is Home Team. Home Team is fast, trusted, and accurate. We do your home in about a standard 1.5 to 2 hours for each of your inspections, depending on the house, obviously. And we offer more than just inspections. We also offer pests and others. So right now, just take any questions if we have time.
Sure. If anybody's got any specific questions to ask these guys?
No, we covered it good.
Yeah, you did a great job. It's helpful to have that.
You said that you do the termite inspections?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, one of my inspectors is a termite inspector.
Okay.
So he'll do it while we're there. So everybody comes at once. That's what we try to do. So if we need a stucco specialist or a structural engineer, everybody comes at the same time, really, and everybody's going at the same time. So there's not a bunch of people coming at different times.
So also, I don't know how you guys think about. I'll ask this question. Our inspections are kind of unbundled. If you've heard of the term, kind of like Spirit. Except we're nicer. We do the whole house, but then we do anything additional. So anybody that doesn't need a pool will get a great inspection for a great value. Anybody that does need a pool will also get that, but they'll add it on because they have it. So you're not paying for a pool inspection if you don't have a pool.
Right.
So that's kind of the way that we work. And so somebody says, well, they're pretty, inexpensive. Well, the reason why we are is because we're kind of unbundled.
Yeah.
So if that gives you an idea, we start our inspections at $300, and that's for under 1,500 square foot, excuse me. And then it goes up from there. So just give us a call. We'll give you a quote. If you have any questions, we're here to help.
Good.
Thank you.
Here's yours. And thanks for breakfast. Okay, Miss Christie.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right. It's kind of odd, but I don't really have a lot of new things to bring you this morning. I was going through all my topics on what new has come out in the market that I haven't already shared with you. And actually, there's nothing new this week that's come out in the market that I haven't shared with you. I will give a shout out to Dave Jones and to Eve. They are fantastic people. When you're doing a manufactured home, and I'm actually doing my second one, and no, I don't want to be known as queen of the manufactured homes, but I do them as a courtesy and everything. Having that inspection to come and do everything all at one time, that's amazing. I didn't even know that he actually did the well and septic, because when you're purchasing a manufactured home, you still have to have those things. And so it's really good to have good partners and everything with you. Things going on in the mortgage business. One thing I can tell you that is going on in the mortgage business is appraisals are taking a little bit longer. Understand that I've heard some of you say, we're slowing down. Are you seeing it slow down in the market? For me, remember, I'm always after the fact. I've already got your buyers pre-qualified. You're out there finding houses. And so it's trickling in for me a little bit later. So appraisals are actually taking a full 10 days now. So we're trying to prep y'all to let you know, just be prepared. Your appraiser is going to go out there, but they are actually right now, due to all the lenders picking up speed a little bit, because all the pre-quals finally finding homes and getting contracts. So we are taking... They're taking, excuse me, a good 7 to full 10 business days to get the appraisals back. And that's not a bad thing. When your appraiser's going out there and they are taking that many days, please don't take it as a negative, the fact that, something's wrong with the house, or, it's not going to work out. No, they're just very, very busy right now. This is our time of the year between now and October that we pick up speed, because all your people that you've been showing houses for 3 or 4 months finally found that house, and we're pushing them on through. So, but just be in mind, a big thing, I just had an email right now from one of the appraisers saying the listing agent is not replying back to me. I've left several voicemails. When that appraiser calls y'all, or calls your listing agent, really encourage them to get back to them as quickly as possible, because that is part of that 10-day process. I have one that's actually taking the full 10 days, and it's only because the listing agent is could have been on vacation, maybe their partner didn't know where they were at or able to get back to them. So the appraisers are they're taking the full advantage of the full 10 days. So just know that that's just what's going on in the market right now. Any questions? Anything I want to know about new topics that I can bring to you next time? Y'all think about that, okay? All right, y'all have a wonderful day.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So everybody study up last night?
No.
Did anybody read my email that what we're doing today?
I read the email.
Kim Jong-un.
So, today's calendar was broker updates. So I think sometimes the best way to kind of teach is maybe test. So we'll start with kind of a pop quiz on some items. See how you do, and then we will go through the answers. No cheating, no Googling. Oh, does anybody need a pen?
I do.
Exactly.
All good? I see a lot of people still stuck on the first one.
We mark should, okay?
That's right, we marked the other option.
Or.
Or.
For everyone else.
Is the pens an option?
This is a hard test.
Well, y'all are smart agents. I think you'd be disappointed if I said, should a contract be in writing? Jeremy's over there Googling. When you're done, put down your pen and look at me. Isn't that the way you say it in the classroom? Teachers,
Thumbs up.
put your head down.
Oh my God. Should have come to that Lynn's class last night.
Mm.
Okay, that
It's
one
interesting that
sounds-
some of this was on the TAR blog that was just posted, so if you read it, you probably know the answers.
Well, it looks like we didn't read it.
You're gonna be Mr. Popper.
This is
Two,
embarrassing.
no, there's no two answers. That's why a couple of them said C and D.
Yeah.
Yeah, with this one, I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
which one.
Pick the best answer.
D's on all of them.
10? Pam got you got 10 of them done? Or you know number 10?
I can't even see without my glasses.
Now everyone's gonna use that excuse.
That's all I got today.
Oh, wait, let me hide mine real quick.
More coffee.
Oh. It's a teachable moment.
Yes, it is.
We'll scaring our guests off. They're like, oh my God. If this is what's on the truck exam, I'm not going forward. There was no math. That's a bonus, right? That would have been better.
I was looking for math, I was like, bring it on.
That's right. Are you done? Did you do the back? Good job. Susan's done.
She's special.
I just guessed.
A, B, A, B, A, B. Let's see how the pattern goes. I should have printed the answers upside down on the back. So that see how many people are like trying to read upside down.
Barely read right side.
All right, who still needs more time?
Me. That's okay, you can go ahead.
We're fine. We've got a minute. One more minute.
I thought too long on the first
Get
one.
going.
The first one scared us.
Now, that was a tough one. The trick in that question is football.
Yep.
It can only be rocks. All right, let's get going here. So, first question. When the tenant causes the condition, if a ceiling fan stops working under normal use, the landlord must pay to fix it. However, if the fan was spinning just fine until the tenant threw a football and knocked off a fan blade, the tenant must pay. True or false?
Well, if they have a,
doesn't it depend
don't
on
they
like
have like a merchant or down a deposit?
Okay,
Goes
well, we're just talking about repair.
True.
So could the tenant call the landlord and go, come fix my
Oh no.
fan?
Yeah,
They can call them. Yeah, if they were the one who caused the damage.
That is a tenant expense. They caused the damage.
right.
It was working just fine until they threw a football. So it is true.
They admit it.
Kind of hard for fan blades just to fall off. All right, number 2. When a tenant's guest causes the condition. Suppose the tenant's guest mistakenly shifts his vehicle into drive rather than reverse and plows into the front of the house. It doesn't matter that the tenant wasn't the person driving. The tenant still has to pay for the repair. True or false?
True.
It is true.
Oh, I
The
would have thought
tenant
the
and their
driver.
guest.
I thought the driver.
Well, the tenant can go after the driver, but it's still the tenant invited that person onto the property and they caused the damage.
What if
Well,
it did not? What if somebody
see, that's
ran into
why
the stop sign
I
after
put
they're
false,
gone?
because I thought it was for the driver.
Yeah, so
but
it's the thing there is guest.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, if you lived at the end of the street and somebody just missed their turn, that would not be a tenant responsibility. Okay.
That's right.
All right, so probably the tenant would now say, I don't know that person. I've never seen her before. Okay, number 3. Whether a door, window, or screen is damaged by a tenant, the tenant's guest, a tree, a bird, a criminal, or any other cause, the lease specifies that the repairs are the responsibility of the tenant. Tenant doesn't pay for damage caused by leaving doors or windows open.
false.
That is false. That last sentence was changed. It should say tenant would pay for any damage caused by leaving the doors or windows open. So,
I thought that one was a trick question.
it was.
It took me so long.
Number 4, if the buyer fails to deposit the earnest money after the contract has been executed by all parties, A, the contract automatically terminates. B, the buyer has 2 weeks to deposit the earnest money. C, the buyer is in default and the seller can sue for damages. D, the buyer is in default and the seller can sue for performance. E, the buyer is in default and the seller can seek the earnest money as liquidated damages. F is C and E. G is D and E. And H is C, D, and E. Which one did y'all pick? Yeah, y'all are all over the place. It's H. Basically, H is everything in the default paragraph. So the buyer has now defaulted and the seller can go after them for damages, specific performance, or take the earnest money as liquidated damages. So those are the three things in the default paragraph, right? Y'all remember the default paragraph? That was not a trick question. I thought that was the easiest one on there.
Damages and performance.
All right, number 5. A seller must always make a counter offer in writing.
True.
That's false.
I mean, I was like,
There's no requirement to put it in writing.
You could talk back and forth.
Yeah, there's a form that you can use, but it's not required to use that form. So the counteroffer can come back in a verbal format. All right, number 6. How many people have gotten everything right so far? All right, there's one. That's it? We only got one person so far? Oh, in the back. Not yes past her license, but she's on track. All right, she's studying hard. All right. Number 6, the TAR residential lease provides that the landlord who does not intend to renew can give verbal notice of termination. True or false? False. That is always false. They must be in writing. Okay. Number 7. If the buyer gives notice under the third-party financing addendum of their inability to obtain financing prior to the number of days agreed upon, they must also include a copy of their denial letter from their lender.
False.
That is false. There's no requirement to prove your inability to obtain credit financing approval. So, just had that issue yesterday that I dealt with. So now you know where I get these questions. It's like I just look back at my notes. Number 8.
Dagnabbit.
Yes. As an agent, I'm referred to a buyer who is currently listed with another agent, but they tell me they don't want that agent to help them buy. I should, A, give them an IABS and get their pre-approval letter and show them houses. B, just assume they're not under a buyer rep agreement and proceed with showing houses. C, make sure I ask if they're under a buyer agreement before I show them houses. D, tell them they have an agent and not work with them at all. Or E, call the listing agent and tell them what happened.
C.
It is C. Yeah. So this is another one I'm dealing with. And you know, it's kind of an unfortunate situation where the seller has an agent, signed the listing agreement and the buyer representation agreement at the same time. House is on the market, goes under contract. The listing agent's sending them, hey, here's a new listing, here's something that came up, here's something we should look at, hey, when do you want to go look at houses? And you know, he's kind of being a little evasive with her. And finally, they end up with a mutual friend who tells her that he wrote an offer on the house. So she, finds him out. Well, the other agent admits to me when I called her that he basically told her, yes, I have my house listed, but I'm not going to use that agent to help me buy a house. There's kind of some personal issues that are going on between us, so I don't want to continue that. Can you help me buy a house? He puts her in the go show houses. Does not inquire if he's under a buyer representation agreement, which is what? As a code of ethics violation. Okay? And
you end up in realtor jail.
Could be. Now, do we have a claim against the commission on that at that closing?
Yes.
Technically, we don't, because we're not the procuring cause.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay? She's the procuring cause for that transaction. Who do we have a claim for the commission against?
Buyer?
The buyer. Under the buyer representation agreement, it says that if you purchase without us, you will owe the commission. Okay? And he's not real happy about that statement, but he signed it. Twice he signed it. So he's a little perplexed right now, which he should be, because he did not have the guts to tell his agent, I'm sorry, I thank you for getting my house sold, but I've decided to go a different direction. You know, I really think I'd rather work with another agent. I want to be released from the buyer representation agreement. I mean, she's kind of saying at this point, had there just been that kind of an adult conversation, I probably would have done something. Maybe even potentially try to refer them to an agent or something like that. But he just went off and cheated on her, you know, which is not good, right? No. So, and they were friends.
Oh, that's why you should never do business with friends.
Oh, I love doing business with friends.
Only that friend.
If I didn't do business with friends, my database would have been really small. All right. What are we on? Number 9? Yeah. My seller has told me that he doesn't want the buyer to come to the property anymore after the option period. I should A, let the buyer's agent know the seller's wishes. B, take the super box off. Take off the super box. C, tell the seller that the contract doesn't allow him to make such a requirement. D, tell the seller that he can only do that if he refunds the option fee. Or E, none of the above.
C.
I said E.
C.
It is C. So paragraph 7 states that the seller will allow the buyer to inspect the property at reasonable times. Okay? Now, we sometimes get confused that we think of the inspect as being the inspection by the inspector, right? But an inspect could be a walkthrough, right?
Yep.
Or I just want to come back and see that the repairs that I asked you to do were done correctly, right? Would that be an inspect? Or I want to come measure for carpet, right? That would be an inspection or an inspect, okay? So that was another one of my items this week. Last week was so yeah.
And shouldn't they have permission to enter the home?
Yes, yes. They
'Cause we
should
talked
always
about
make
that
an
yesterday
they should
in
always
class.
make an appointment to show the property. Just because you're under contract doesn't give you, even if the house is vacant, doesn't give you free ranges to come and go as you please. You should always make the inspection with the other party. Okay?
That's good.
Right? All right, number 10. Although I can't list my own house for sale under our policy, it would be okay for me to represent the buyer.
True.
No.
I don't think so.
That is against the law.
Interesting.
This was last week too. Was this last week also?
That was this week. We got that one in yesterday.
Like if you had your house for sale.
So, how could you represent a buyer ethically on a property that you own? Right? Could you really put their interest above yours? I mean, I know most of you have a really good heart and you're super honest, but unfortunately, a court would think otherwise. Okay? So.
Oh goodness.
This and the lack of this. Now you know why.
Was that the day that
I'm
I saw
really
you
only
with your
35
hair
years
in
old.
your hand?
All right. If my seller accepts a contingency offer, they can continue to list the property as active in the MLS as long as the buyer agrees in writing. This is false. The MLS rules must state you must, advertise the true status of the property in the MLS. So it would have to go active to OP, and then you could put it PS, which means pending continue to show. Okay? Yes, ma'am?
Well, I just know of a listing that was active all the way up until this whole.
So there's this really cool button that they put on there called report it. And you should report it when you see agents not do the
It
right
literally
thing.
stayed active until like the day before it was sold.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had one like that
Yeah,
before too.
so that's why HAR put
Because
that
somebody
reported out there, which I did I had an agent come in and tell me I don't even remember what it was. Oh, they had the schools wrong, school district was wrong for the entire listing. It was just all over the
That
place.
was me.
And I said, report it. And I said, well, heck, which one is it? I'll do it. We can't be better as an industry unless we help each other out. So I logged in and reported. It's completely anonymous. So wouldn't you like for someone to tell you you've made a mistake?
We had that in our class.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
All right. Number 12. The executed date in the contract may be filled in by the listing broker after the seller has signed it and A, they've received the earnest money. B, the listing agent communicates the acceptance to the buyer's agent. C, the listing agent emails a copy of the accepted contract back to the buyer's agent. Or D, A and B.
D.
B.
It's B.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, here's an example.
'Cause the earnest
Susan
money
has
paid
the buyers. I have the listing. She has sent the offer. We've negotiated back and forth, and I finally have a chance to meet with my sellers and get them to sign off on the contract, and it is 11 o'clock at night. And I fill in today as the closing date, but I don't call Susan until tomorrow morning going, hey, just want to let you know my client signed the contract last night. We're under contract. That would be improper. I have to communicate at the same day that I execute. Okay, so if I called her at 11 o'clock and told her, then I'm okay. But I have to communicate that acceptance and that executed date together. Okay, does that make sense? Yes. Okay, yeah.
Okay, one thing that sometimes happens, and I want to know the truth. When the listing agent forgets to execute the contract, it's okay for the buyer's agent to execute it?
It is. It's just a matter of making sure that there's an agreement on that executed date.
Okay.
And making sure that both people end up putting the same date on their contracts.
Okay,
So
I'm doing the
either
right
buyer's
thing.
agent or listing agent can put the executed date in.
That's what I tell.
It
Yeah.
typically is going to be the listing agent because typically the seller is the last party to sign.
Exactly.
But there are times they forget, right? And so they send it over to you and you need to call them back up and say, hey, Susan, you forgot to put the executed date. Oh, I'm so sorry. I will do that right now and send you back over a copy. I mean, that's the best way to handle it.
Michael, is communication also text, email? It doesn't have to be necessarily just a phone call as well. It could be you email back.
Yeah, something you can prove. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Please confirm.
yeah. Always good to.
That's why I do the kind of written, because it's like, okay, you said this. is that-
So, did anybody learn something new today?
Yes.
Oh, is there one more? Oh, 13. Oh. Okay, the contract written on properties with a home and 5 acres plus must use the farm and ranch contract. How many people say false? We're going to get true confessions here. How many people said true? About 50-50. So people who said true, tell me why you believe that to be true.
Because I thought I read
Was it just a straight guess? You thought you read it someplace, right? Anybody else got something better?
5+ acres, that's a lot of land.
Just because of the size?
10 for ag.
I think it's false because you need more land to be under permanent.
You need ag.
As long as it has a house on it.
There's neighborhoods where acreage up to 15 for sale, and they're like actual neighborhoods.
Yeah. This is a confusing question, and I understand why
We
we're
had
probably
this
about
the other day
50-50.
also.
The answer is false, okay? And let me tell you why.
I remember we-
The farm and ranch contract is there to help with properties that would have additional issues that could come up on larger tracts of land, like
Combines.
mineral rights, leases, right? Could you have a pasture leased out to somebody?
Yes.
Or maybe some other kind of hunting lease or something like that that might be on the property, right? Out of equipment, implements that might go with the property, right? So that's why the farm and ranch contract is there, is because it's more inclusive of more items. It has nothing to do with the size of the property, okay? You could have a house over in the commons that's on 5 acres, that would not need a farm and ranch contract, right? Are there 5-acre tracts over in the Commons?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, most of them were sold like at 2.5-acre tracts. You could have bought 2 together and put your house on one, so you've got a total of 5 acres. Would you feel the need to use a farm and ranch contract on that property?
No.
No, so I want you to think about the type of property it is. That's what causes farm and ranch. Now, as far as the MLS is concerned, they've got, what's it, acreage? Is that what they call it? Acreage on the MLS? Homes and acreage? Now that probably you'd want, if you had a house that had some acreage, might be the right place to put it so that you get the best exposure for people that are looking for, acreage in a house, but that doesn't make it a farm and ranch contract. Does that make sense to you? Okay, I had it somewhat at hand.
Me?
Yes.
So what if I have a farmhouse on 50 acres of wooded land with none of those? It really doesn't have any farm issues.
Yeah, probably wouldn't necessarily need to use a farm and ranch. I would have a question if I had the buyer for that property to talk about mineral rights and want to know if there's any that are owned and not owned, and probably want to make sure that we document that appropriately in the contract, which we could do with a farm and ranch contract, and then just mark NA on all the other stuff. Or I could use the 1 to 4 family residential contract and attach the mineral rights addendum to that contract so that we have a clarity as to are they being transferred, are they not being transferred, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So. And just as a side note, mineral rights are tricky. A lot of people don't know if they own them or don't, right? Mineral rights have been passed on over the years so that most people that have a mineral right at this point are like the 1/32nd interest in something, right? It's been divided and divided and divided over the generations. There are special entities out there that can research those ownership rights, and they will charge a fee for that. Title companies, most of them will tell you, yeah, we can't figure it out for you. You have to hire someone, a landman, that can go and figure those out for you. So, but a lot of times title companies in the rural areas will give you a couple of good resources if you've got someone that needs to figure that part out, okay? So I get that question frequently about mineral rights, and obviously in residential areas you don't have mineral rights. They've been gone a long time ago. You really only have an opportunity of mineral rights in more of an undeveloped piece of property that's not in a subdivision. So you don't have to worry about mineral rights here or in Kingwood or Valley Ranch or any of the neighborhoods. Okay. All right. So a couple of announcements. The Keller Williams Luxury Division is coming to Houston, and they are having a workshop or a meeting on Monday, August 28th. The morning is going to be for leadership, and the afternoon is for agents. So from 1 to 4 o'clock, Leslie Akers, who is the new president of KW Luxury, along with a couple of other people from the KWRI in Austin, will be at the Keller Williams Metropolitan office on Monday the 28th from 1 to 4. And for the agent portion, they will talk about the Keller Williams luxury products, the systems and tools designed to enhance your business in the luxury market. They'll talk about KW Luxury as a global presence and network, and they'll help you understand if it's a benefit to be a member or not. And of course, they'll answer any questions that you have. So if you've had a passion for luxury, if you kind of saw that as maybe a goal, this would be a great opportunity to kind of learn more about KW Luxury. Or if you've had maybe a luxury listing or a luxury buyer and you kind of see that as a potential niche, then this would be a great place to come and understand whether or not KW Luxury could be an addition to your repertoire. Okay? So that's on Monday, the 28th. There will be an email that goes out with kind of a sign up soon. Yes?
Luxury is anything over 500? Double the average.
I thought it went up. Is it 750?
600 here.
6. So they do a percentage of the market. So our luxury price point will be different than the luxury price point in San Diego. Okay. So I'll have to find out exactly what we consider, but it's a percentage of the market in Houston. So they'll look at the overall number of the price of homes in Houston. They'll give you the number, but I'll double check because one time it was 5, then I thought it had gone up. So
On my side, they got a bunch of listing or emails for luxury to go advertise on luxury websites. And then on the 475, 450, I got the same emails. And one was in Alvin, one was in Conrose. I don't know if that.
And that was that from KW Luxury or just other luxury type portals?
Luxury advertisers,
Yeah.
whoever they may be.
Yeah. And you know, a $500,000 house isn't necessarily a luxury listing anymore. I mean, it's a really nice house. I'm not going to discount that, but it's probably not. And that's why they end up moving it up to make sure that they're still staying at a price point that would be considered luxury. So, I mean, just think of, I just got through helping my son and daughter-in-law buy a house down just outside the Heights. They spent over $300,000 on a 1,200 square foot house that was built in 1940.
Wow.
Okay?
That hurts.
Now let's put that house in downtown Humble, because there's probably some 1940 homes in downtown Humble. What would it have gone for? They probably would have paid you to take it. Right? So, the market can vary from one market to the other, even in the overall general market. So, yeah. All right, so we'll make sure everybody gets that.
I have one event.
Good.
It's, the Summer Creek High School is trying to clear up misconceptions of their brand, I guess, or the perceptions that are out there. So on Friday, August 25th, so next week, between 10:30 and 11:30, in the Performing Arts Center, they're going to have an open house, and there's going to be a presentation, and they're really just going to, this is pretty much what it says. We would like to invite all area realtors to a meet and greet. You'll be informed on everything that Summer Creek High School has to offer, and we'll tour our state-of-the-art school. And so they're really trying to make an effort, because I'm sure y'all have heard the rumors out there. Everyone's fleeing Summerwood because of the,
Oh, there was a fight 2 years ago, so
Yeah.
it seems like that's
So-
still out there as a reputation.
They're getting a new principal.
Yeah.
Brent's moving
The-
over.
Yeah.
But they have a new principal now, the middle school principal.
Brent's moving from Wood Creek.
I've heard lots of good things about him.
He is great.
Good.
I worked for him for 5 years.
Good. Good.
Apparently they didn't hear about the stabbing in the Tascasita.
Oh, yeah.
They're just better at covering things up.
Right.
Right.
While we're speaking about Humble ISD, I don't know if anybody knows this, but high school students can earn a realtor certificate. I think most of them do.
I think it's only in Kingwood.
I think it's only at Kingwood High School.
It's just Kingwood High School.
Now, they launched it at Kingwood. Maybe is it K Park or Kingwood High School?
Oh my God.
It's where Marla May teaches. Where does she teach at?
It's at King Park, because I went to freshman orientation last night.
Well, it's just like we have
Okay.
different divisions.
So I know they launched it last year. They may be expanding it to some of the other high schools.
But I know-
Last year was the first year, and I think my wife was telling me that they finally had their first person who's gotten their license
Yeah.
as a result of that
Yeah, that's
class.
what I saw.
Yeah.
But I know
That's like,
all
okay, the other
the
programs, they will actually bus the students to that school if they
Oh, okay.
a program.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because like some programs are only offered at Humboldt, some are only offered.
Right.
So it just depends.
I
on
reached
what-
out to Marla when it was first announced, saying we would love to, have the students come to a team meeting, or some of us go there and talk. So I will do that again as this school year starts. But I think it'd be great to do that. I did junior achievement when I was in banking, and went back into a class and talked about making and selling widgets, right? And then I usually at the end, when I had enough time with the class, to talk about just general banking, because these were mostly seniors who were all getting ready to go be on their own, and most of them had never seen a checkbook or had an account. So I spent a lot of time trying to help them understand that just because you have checks left does not mean you still have money in your account.
What's good about the check?
Now kids today go, what's a check? Right?
That's the only thing that's good for.
Yeah. And then I put it in the email, but I just want to maybe give you another little teaser. The staff is working today on pulling together plans for an eclipse party for next Monday. So that's why I had the eclipse video running beforehand. So we'll do it, I think the eclipse is supposed to kind of be around 1:30 here in the Houston area. So we'll plan it a little bit before and a little bit after. There'll be some games. and snacks that are Eclipse related. If it wasn't so early in the afternoon, we would definitely be having an Eclipse cocktail. We'll have to just come up with something fun. Maybe just Sunny D. All right. So does anybody have anything on tour today that they want to make sure people know about? Tammy?
Yes, Terry's having an open house at, it's on page 2 of your handout, on Valley Haven. She's having lunch. So if you would please go, that would be great.
And Benita pointed out to me last week, we've been trying to pull the tour sheet from Matrix now, just to kind of get ready for Matrix switchover. And previously, under Tempo or whatever they were using, we were able to put all the Keller Williams open houses first.
We figured it out.
Did you figure it out? Oh, good.
We did.
Okay, I know she was struggling with that, so it was just kind of random where they showed up, but
Yeah.
now you're able to put them all back at the front?
We selected all the Keller Williams's listings and printed those, and then went
And then
back
add the others to it.
Selected every.
Okay.
The Keller Williams.
Good, so just in case you're looking for yours and it's not on page 1 or 2, that might have been the issue, but hopefully we've resolved that. I think, we've got some guests that are here today that met with Matt this past week, so I don't want to embarrass you, but stand up and just introduce yourself real quick so they kind of know who you are. So.
I'm Ryan Kirsch.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
So Lori and I kind of reconnected. We grew up neighbors. She grew up on the street behind where I grew up. So an old Kingwood family. So awesome to have you here today. So good luck.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. All right. Anybody else got something to share? Susan?
I have a new listing in Eagle Springs. It's a 1-story, 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, starting little home built by Chesmar. Could be a patio home. All wood floors, tile in the wet areas, and a beautiful backyard.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
$229.
I did remember just a couple of other things. We also have been taking the proceeds from our 50/50 to put together our backpacks. And there is still a need for just a few more dollars. So if you weren't able to participate in the 50/50, but you just want to make a contribution, see either Pam or Valerie. They'll be happy to take your donation, whether it's $5 or $2 or whatever. I think we're going to be, around 20? 20 backpacks? How many did you order?
20.
20, good. So that's awesome. That's a great contribution that we'll be able to make. And then just also another reminder that we're 1 week into our Random Acts of Kindness. So it's an opportunity for you to continue to focus on where you might be able to perform a random act of kindness, or you observe a random act of kindness. If you've got something to share and you want to share it publicly, grab a heart off the front desk and make your note and put it on the window. If you've got something you want to share privately, there is a treasure chest just outside my office and you can put a note in there. And we will celebrate those in about 3 weeks on September 7th, 8th,
I think.
and Friday with an ice cream social. So, yeah. It's kind of hard. I was doing it the other day. I was like, all right, I'm going to do one today. And sometimes you just get busy kind of trying to figure out where to do it, and how to do it, and all that. So,
The 8th, I think this is saying 12:30.
Good.
12:30.
Awesome. Y'all have a great day.
Oh, thank you.